Hello, beautiful people, lovers of good things, lovers of goodwill all over the globe. I bring greetings from a grateful heart. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone. Thank you so dearly for always supporting this platform. I really do appreciate. In case you are hearing our voice for the first time, or you are coming across us for the first time, we still remain your one and only Progress News, giving it to you back to back. Remember, in this platform, we react to all videos, and your opinion is highly needed. So sit back, watch this video, and
who is not who, and we know for sure that our relationship is not just IPOB. It's the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB, Dr. Cho Ayaba and the governing council. They intend to bring the Ambazonian people and the Biafran people together so that both states and organizations can work together. So we always focus on that, so that tomorrow, if our leaders are not there, even if our organizations are not there, our people will know that the people who were really heroes, who were true selfless leaders, have shown us the light. They are like Jesus. They have shown us the way. This is the way you can do for your freedom. And I believe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I believe in his leadership, I believe in Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba and their honesty and their commitment to our flag. And they have shown us that this is the right way.
Excuse me, I want you to repeat what you just said. You said you believe on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is DOS. Is it what you're saying?
Oh, 1,000%.
Thank you.
1,000%. I have zero doubt.
Thank you.
This man is somebody that has been chosen by God to lead the Biafran people. He has done everything from the time he escaped from the lion's den, and he came out within a short period of window. The word that he has said has laid the foundation for Biafran freedom. He has done everything already. The only thing I can advise, because we have a lot of problem each time I also have a platform where I talk. We have a lot of people who say don't talk about Biafran politics, internal politics, because as a partner we must stick to organizational relationship. But I'm not saying this as the deputy defense chief. I'm speaking as a citizen of Ambazonia and somebody who wants Biafra to be free. This is my advice I will give to the Biafran people and to the leadership of the IPOB as an independent person, not as an official. Do not expect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to say anything to you again. You are just putting unbearable burden to a man who is paying a huge price for his people's freedom. Allow him in peace and focus to liberate the people. He has said everything that he wants to say. If you doubt or you are going through some difficulties and challenges, go back to his speeches where he was free and listen to what he said. Don't listen to what he is saying now, not because he is not capable, not because of anything, but for strategic reason, for sanity reason. Focus on what he told you before he was in jail. Focus to what he did before he's there, and you will get your freedom so easily. Because right now, I don't want to say anything controversial because we have a project in June. But what I will tell you is that I don't know if I should say this, we're almost done, right? It's like we're out of time.
Please, I think you are going to give us more like 30 minutes, because is it possible?
Okay.
The man in charge, the leader of DOS is going to come up today, but we still have some time. He is going to come up on 7:30. So we still, if you can give us also 30 minutes, because I still have more 2 questions to ask you. And before I will go further, but I have to say this to our people, because I am kind of a man that don't use political correctness. Whenever I'm doing my things, I always nail it. And I will say this in a word that our people will understand. Pardon me by saying this. Simon Eba, I hope you have heard it. Simon Eba Njoko, I hope you have heard what Capo Daniel said. That he believed on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is DOS, led by Mazi Chike Doziem. And I hope those gullible ones that are following Simon Eba have heard that the Ambazonians, they are full in support. I'm not in support, they are in combine of this movement that we are going to have in June 14 and 15. They are partner on it. I hope every one of us understand this. I hope our people are listening very careful, because I call people by their names so that they will understand. Simon, please stop all this your nonsense. You have to stop all this your nonsense. And we are going to bring the Oduduwa people too. My brother Mazi, do you still want to say something before I will move straight to the next question? Because you have already said everything that we want to hear. Believe it, we are going to cut this particular place. We are going to cut it and we're going to distribute it to everybody. Do you want to say something before I move straight? Because that's a very important question again that I want to ask you. I know that. Please give us that time, please. 30 minutes is enough. We are done. Thank you.
So I will speak as an activist and a freedom fighter, not as an official of the Ambazonian Governing Council when I say this. Avoid people who use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to justify their position in your liberation movement. Avoid them at all costs. The enemy of Biafra will use anybody and will not stop to infiltrate everybody. Assume that every organization is possibly infiltrated or under the influence, because there are people, the way Nigeria work is, they have people who contact you to advise you, to influence you. They will continue to do that. They also use other means to affect people and influence them. And the greatest thing you can do for people that have been subjected to a level of disenfranchisement from a state, stripped of all their dignity, is their ego. They play into your ego and the egos of your leaders so much that it will make them to become blind to common sense and practical things that will lead you to your freedom. I've been in many meetings. I've been called in many private meetings with many separate leaders of your group, especially the Biafrans in the United States, to provide them with advice, because I lead an intelligence department in our movement that have access to a lot of information and a lot of intelligence, and I've given them the same advice. Be very practical, be very accommodating, and do the right thing irrespective of who created an initiative. Just because you are right today does not mean that another person will not be right tomorrow. Stop attacking things that are right and things that make sense. Stop taking positions just because somebody else has taken another position. A true patriot will go out of his way to shake the hands of his enemy to do the right thing for their country, and will leave behind a good example. So every leader, in every activist, everybody who have a platform should always come around patriotism, nationalism. The Biafran movement have been built on what makes their ingredient as a people. But now, with the stage where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have kept the movement of Biafra, it has to move away from agitation. It has to move away from protests at home. It has to get into, the leadership has to move it into nationalism, internationalization, as they're doing with this protest, and focus more on what brings you people together, your nationalism. Institution. Leadership should sharpen institutions. Institutions should sharpen leadership, and initiatives are the tangible things that you should look forward to. So when there are initiatives, you put aside your partisan cap and fall and get into work. When you get into a place where you are unable to support initiatives simply because of ideological differences or personality differences, then my brother, ask your wife to scratch your head and ask you that, where have you kept your Biafran flag? Remember, at the end of the day, all of you have Biafran flag. Remember that. So that is all I have to say. I don't want to get too personal to call names of your leaders, because that will not be very proper for me. But if I give advice like that, I hope I have tried my best.
Yeah, you do. You have already advised them. They are listening. And some of you that are just joining us right now, who you're seeing direct on your screen right now is Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of Ambazonia, the Deputy to Show Ayaba. I hope every one of us understand who is our guest today. And as we are moving forward, I thank you very, very much for this more explanation, because believe it, you nail it. You nail it. You tell us what we want to hear. You really tell us exactly what we want to hear. But there's something I want to let you know. There is some group of people, they call them autopilots. They have no leader. Of course, I know that they have already reached you people, but I want you people to be careful of some people call themselves autopilot. These people have no leader, and they are telling us that they are fighting for Biafran liberation. I want you people to beware of any man that will come and tell you that they are autopilot. I will stop it there. I just want you people to take note. Now, my second to last question is this. You can, if you want, you brief it so that we can be able to conclude. So, my next question is about the leader of Ambazonia, who is today in the prison. Sisiku Ayubu. Yeah. So what are you people are doing to free him to join his own people back? I just want you to tell us about him, because believe it, this man is a great man. This man have paid a lot. It's exactly what our leader is doing today. The leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's there fighting for me. He's there suffering today because of I and some and many of our people in Biafra land. Why others are there castigating him? And you know the worst part of it is, like, these people, they are using the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as their leader. I want you to tell us about the leader of Ambazonia, who is today in prison. What are you people doing to free him? Thank you.
Yeah, our leader in jail, Siseko Ayoktabi, he is the head of his organization. It's called the Ambazonian interim government of Ambazonia. And I was his ambassador to Asia and the Middle East as well. I have served him as an activist. And when our struggle started, it started as a revolt, because we also have a nationalist movement that was going on right from the time Cameroon took control of our territory. But it really took speed in 2016, where our people rose up against marginalization and the imposition of French in our system. So he emerged as the leader of the joint platform that was created then. And there was a lot of infighting, a lot of debates during the time of his leadership. because he was the people who brought him to power. They were having a lot of strong hand against him, and it was a very nasty politics. And unfortunately, this very good man who have done so much for our people was kidnapped in Nigeria, in Biafra. Not in Biafra, in Nigeria, in Abuja, in Naira Hotel, and was renditioned back to Cameroon illegally. So since then, his organization was taken over by some people who, by their own actions and their own testimony today, have proven that they have been working with the Cameroon government. They are publicly, their friends have publicly come up with evidence that they were bribed, and they have brought scandals and a lot of shame to our movement. But I think that we have gone past that. In terms of what we are doing to free him, the Ambazonian Governing Council, has emerged as the biggest movement now for our liberation movement. For us, we believe in liberation through the liberation of our people. We believe that political prisoners represents the image of, they are like the flagship of the struggle. They are the face of the struggle. And our aim to, our way to release them is not through the legal means. We oppose the spending of huge sum of money to hire lawyers to represent him in the Cameroon court, because we believe that you don't get freedom through the court system. For us, we believe that the best way to liberate him is to fight Cameroon on the battle. 2 days ago, our forces carried out an operation, and they arrested a Cameroon appointed senator representing in our territory, and we have asked for prisoners exchange through the International Red Cross. We believe to release somebody who was kidnapped by Cameroon state, the only best way to do is to arrest people that are of similar caliber within the Cameroon state for them to do that exchange. When it's war, it's war. Arrest of a leader like that is a declaration of war. So we don't think that you go and be arguing with them in their court system, quoting their kangaroo laws, thinking that you get anywhere with it. So for us, we are fighting. We do support them financially in terms to maintain their dignity while they are prisoners of conscience, and we go to the battlefield. Our previous leaders, he's not the first one who have been put in jail. Our first leader who was put in jail, we carried out a special commando that trained for over 2 years and break him out of prison in Cameroon and to move him into Biafra and into Nigeria. And the guy now is in the United States. He's called Dr. Ebenezer Kwanga. So we believe that if you put your mind truly to do something, you can do it. And that is how we are doing for him. We are using other ways to remove him other than the legal practice. I know this may be controversial. If I may say this say this to you guys. There was a time when some of your let me keep that one out of organization, because I don't want to get fired. Every time I talk about Biafra, I get like a lot of phone calls to tell me, please don't talk about Biafra now. Let's work, or let's continue the good job we are doing at the back door. That is good, but we also have to engage people publicly. There are people who are being, right now, the Nigerian government, or let me put it in parables, a slave master is very satisfied and is very happy to discuss with the slave, to discuss about reducing their working hours and giving them small privileges here. They are saying, oh, this man is not good, this one is not good. They are very happy with those type of cases, because that is, they have accepted their situation as slaves. So all they want is that they should give them more water to drink and more time to rest, and rights to have children or not to have children. The slave master is very happy with that. He's okay to that. So I would say right now, Nigeria is very happy to have Mazi Nnamdi Kanu go through this ordeal, going to court, Biafran lawyers coming and arguing. They give them points here and there. They make victory, legal victory here and there, and they're happy. It gives Nigerian government a chance to tell the Biafran people who have not embraced their nationalism that our legal system is working. There can be justice here. It is a charade. It plays well in their hand, and it diverts the Biafran people away from what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was doing. Trust me, Nnamdi Kanu have said that Biafra must be free. He's willing to sacrifice his life, and he has put his life already. He has sacrificed that life. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not like you to be focusing yourself on him, but rather he will want you to focus yourself on the program that he has set ruling, because the Nigerian government kidnapped him because they wanted to stop that program, not him as a person, but what he was doing. So that work he was doing has to continue. As we love him so much and we want him to be free so much, it should not be our weakness, because the enemy knows that we love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so much that they can divert all of our attention to him, and we forget about what he wanted, which he says is better, is important more than his life, which is the freedom of the Biafran people. So the court case that is going on, I say this as an individual, not as an official. Any person who thinks that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released by court case is incompetent. It's incompetent. Nigerian government will never release somebody by law who he was not arrested by law in the first place. This is war. If you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, just like the people of South Africa wanted Mandela to be free, they did not fight that case in court. They know it is a case that they have lost. As a matter of fact, you want that case to be over as soon as possible. And then you get to the real job. Kick Nigeria out of Biafra and free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. if you want to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you miss a big opportunity in the last election, because the Nigerian intelligence services had huge success in tampering down the anger of the Biafran people and managing it so much that they have a degree of success in the electoral box, that you have political participation in election. We tried to help, but we were really restrained by respect and protocol. You should never again, never again allow one single ballot box in the name of Nigeria in Biafra if you want to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is more important than the lawyers. Anybody that votes in election in Nigeria, a Biafran, is like somebody putting a spear in the heart of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and there is no forgiving for that sin. The day you will make sure that even after this election, you go back and set an example to all those enablers who are sons and citizens of Biafra, that enables a subjugated system of Nigeria to impose itself through the electoral box, and giving a justification to the international community that Nigeria and Biafra, they are okay. They are the reasons why you will suffer till the next elections for the how do you call them again, the so-called governors you have. Now these governors have a semblance of legitimacy. No matter what you say, the international community will say, let's go and listen to what the governor says. If I'm the one, I will ban all the governors from setting their foot in Biafra. It is more important to get rid of these guys than even the zoo animals that goes around and prowl your street. Make sure there is no governor, no elected official. There should be no elected official in Biafra representing Nigeria. Whether you are a senator, you are a parliamentarian, no matter how good you are, the Biafran people don't need that type of goodness again. You are not agitators again. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have elevated Biafran out of agitation. The era of agitation is over. Now is the time of freedom. The independence declared by President Ochukwu, has never been reversed. He has the right. What you guys have not done so much is the legal argument of the injustice of the amalgamation, which was validated by the Soviet Anglo Pact that was signed by the British government, that established that they knew that indigenous people's rights must be respected in any engagement in any territory that they hold as trust territory. As a protectorate, they could not allow the amalgamation, which was against the will of the Biafran people. So the Ochukwu was right, and he has been validated by history, and the future will validate him. The same as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Go in for liberation of Biafra. Stop using strategies for agitation, thinking that you are fighting an agitation. That level is over. Nigeria will not give you freedom. You will have to kick Nigeria out of your house, because right now it is Nigerian inside Biafra. It's not Biafra in Nigeria. Kick Nigeria out of Biafra, and Biafra will have the space to be free. And who is Nigeria? Nigeria is your governor. He is the one who represents the Nigerian state. The Nigerian military, the Nigerian police, and the DSS, all those people are just the ones to create the environment for that real vampire to be there. So as much as you go after these tools that they have set in the security network, the security apparatus there, the framework of Nigerian as a state, which is the administrative arm, you have to kick them out. You don't have a choice. If they are Biafran blood, my brother, remember what the Afghanistan did to their own. Remember what even the French did to their own traitors who work with the British people. Remember what the South Africans did with their own people who were traitors. You have to have zero tolerance to these people. You have to stop giving them respect and dignity, calling them governors, and people still looking on them and even thinking about their opinion. These are your worst enemy. They are worse than Buhari. If you think that Buhari is a devil, let me tell you, my brother, those people who have accepted to be governors, they are the worst. These are the people who took out General Ikosun. General Ikosun, his blood is still calling out for the youth of Biafra. At that moment, you have the perfect storm. Somehow, these demons, they hold it, they had Nnamdi Kanu in their hands. Maybe I always think about it. When I think about it, I feel so depressed. But I think that somehow, like the story of the Bible of Jesus Christ, when the devil thought that he killed him and he has stopped his movement, that is actually when his movement started. So I hope that even with the incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the death of General Ikoso, it will enlighten the spirit, my brother. The spirit of the heart of the Biafran youths are already free. All they need is that leadership should focus and harness that energy and kick Nigerian out of Biafra. Don't harness that energy for popularity. Don't harness that energy for social media likes and all those stuff. Harness that energy for one thing. They say, like you started the show, you say the violent take it by force. Biafran independence is by force. It's not by negotiation. It's not by I have heard you guys talking so much about election. referendum. Referendum is already election, already freedom. Take your independence by kicking Nigeria out of your country. Are you?
Thank you very much. The last question, and also at the same time, I want you to use it as your closing remark. At the same time, I want you to advise the great people of Ambazonia and Biafran people at the same time. But this last question now is this. Is it anything that going to happen? For instance, can it be any negotiation for the Ambazonians leaders and the people of Ambazonia to abandon Ambazonia to go back to Cameroon? Is it anything that can happen? I mean, to change their mind, to say that they want to still stay in the same, concocted place. I don't know how to put it anymore.
I cannot even imagine a scenario where we can say that we can go back to Cameroon. It will never happen. It's not something that we can conceive. There are a lot of water have gone through the breach. We have gone through a genocidal war where we watch fellow Africans black on black murder on our streets. The Cameroon military have been butchering our people. They have burned down over 600 villages. They have killed over 30,000 of our civilians, burning elderly citizens in their house, raping our women, humiliating our citizens. For the past 60 years since we left the eastern states of Nigeria, the Enugu House of Assembly, we came to Cameroon. We have been suffering a lot, my brother. We were once the first self-governing territory in Africa. We had a democratic system with free elections, democratic change of power. The Cameroon state came into our territory. They destroyed the first African airlines we had. They destroyed our police force. They have brought us nothing but pain. It is our right as a people to determine the political outlook of our territory. And we have determined that what suits for us is our independence and complete separation from Cameroon. This is not something somebody can decide for us because these are indigenous rights. It is our choice. We have decided to be free and to be an independent country. It is inconceivable. There's no scenario where we can go back to Cameroon. We will continue to fight and resist Cameroon present in our territory until the last Cameroon is booted out or until independence comes our way.
Thank you very much for this wonderful exclusive interview that we have today with you, Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of Ambazonia, the Deputy to Show Ayaba. We thank you very much, and we are also looking more forward to bring you once again, or to bring one of the leadership that are going to be, discuss with us, because this alliance of Ambazonia and Biafra will continue. And I don't know if you have anything to tell the Ambazonian people. I mean, just to give them a word of encouragement, tell them to stand resolute, and I hope that the Ambazonians armies, the men on the ground, I know that they are formidable and they are ready to restore their land, Ambazonia. So if you have some little bits, I mean, word of advice to them, then we call it a day. Thank you, Mazin.
So what I will have to say to the Ambazonian people and to the people of Biafra is that for you to be free, men, you have to first of all free your mind and really ascertain who you are as a people. You are people of Biafra. You are the people of Ambazonia, a free people born free in your homeland, and it is your right to be free, and it is your right for your country to be free. Let nobody deceive you to contemplate that you will be better off in Nigeria or Cameroon. You will never be. Our people have suffered a lot throughout our history, from slavery to colonialism, and our people have a golden opportunity with the leadership and vision of Dr. Chuayaba and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who have been selfless individuals. This type of people come in the history of every nation just once in hundreds or maybe thousands of years. And we are the never again generation. It is upon this generation that our country's freedom will be born. It is time for us to rise like those Africans who fought against colonialism, to fight against the hegemony that have held our people in substitute, in poverty, and in lack of opportunity. We must, as a people, rise up to meet the challenge of our time, not only with words, but with action. To those of our boys and men who are on the ground, in Biafran streets and in Ambazonian streets, you have to make sure that you do the right thing. Think out of the box. Do the right thing with these terrorist Cameroon troops, with these terrorist Nigerian forces that run our streets, and take them out. You are condemned to fight this monster with arms. The Europeans, the Americans did not have their freedom and their prosperity handed upon them in a platter of gold. They fought for their freedom. If you are Biafrans enjoying democracy and freedom in the diaspora, you have an obligation to support the armed resistance. I'm not talking about you support this group, this lawyer, this. You have an obligation to support the armed resistance. No matter what your opinion is. If you decide to support humanitarian, to do whatever you are, you have the duty to support the armed resistance. For the Biafran people who are appointed by Nigerian government, you have to separate yourself, deny yourself from the riches of this war, resign and join your people and fight for their freedom. They deserve it. they are worth it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Capo Daniel. Thank you for this wonderful time that you gave to us. We really, really appreciate it. And like I said, we are still looking forward to bring some of the leadership also on IPOB Rapture Media under the leadership of Mazen Namdekano, because we are working with the leadership. Thank you very much, my brother. I call you my brother. You are my brother. And believe it, we must restore our land, our dignity, our motherland, and our self-being. We must, because we must make.
My word, that brings us to the end of this beautiful update. Do where to like this video, share and subscribe. The best thing for you to do is to join this family by smashing on that red subscribe button that says subscribe and turn on the bell icon for more latest updates. See you when I see you. From me to you, I say bye.